Could you imagine meeting somebody that had the same name as you? We're talking same first name and last name. But not only did y'all share a name, but y'all also work the same kind of jobs. If you can relate to that, then stay tuned to this episode of Journey Through Jerseys. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jordan Dunlap, and if you're new here, be sure to check out some of my other content. The link will be in the description down below. Today's episode is episode 3 in La Serie Cubana, or the Cuban series, where we talk about Negro League teams that have the name Cuban in them. In this episode, we're going to talk about one team, well, technically two teams. No, scratch that. Actually, 3 teams that share the same name. Ladies and gentlemen, the story of the Cuban Stars. The team that first had the name Cuban Stars was started by Abel Linares and Tinti Molina in 1907. And they started off as a traveling team that would play against teams on the eastern side of the United States. Eventually, they would begin traveling west, playing teams like Chicago's Leland Giants. And everything was going good for them. By 1916, they had briefly joined the Cuban League and were still going strong as the one and only Cuban Stars. Or so they thought. See, as it turned out, it was another team that had the name Cuban Stars, and they were based in New York and were owned by a man named Alex Pompez. And now the team faced a dilemma, because there can't be 2 Cuban Stars. So to differentiate themselves, the team owned by Molina and Linares would go by the Cuban Stars West, because they played against Midwestern teams, while the team owned by Pompez went by Cuban Stars East. And now, that issue resolved, both teams are going on to do great things. In 1919, the Cuban Stars West had the highest winning percentage of any Negro League team in the West and became Western champions. That next year, they would join the Negro National League, where they would play in for about 10 years before disbanding in 1930. While they were mostly a traveling team, in 1921, they were temporarily based in Cincinnati and went by the Cincinnati Cuban Stars and would play their home games at Redland Field. The Cuban Stars East were also a traveling team, but they sometimes played games at Dickman Oval and had great players like Martin DeHigo on their squad. They competed in the Eastern Colored League and the American Negro League until they disbanded in 1933. But even with both teams gone, the name Cuban Stars would still live on. In 1927, Sid Pollock, the man who would go on to own the Indianapolis Clowns, organized a team that went by the Havana Red Sox. The team would barnstorm around the Miami, Florida area, and in some ways served as a precursor to the Indianapolis Clowns. Pollock introduced a routine called shadow ball, which is when the infielders would pretend to throw a ball around for between-inning warm-ups, something that the Clowns would later do in their games. In 1931, the team changed their name to the Cuban House of David, and that year became the only team from Cuba to be permitted entry into the United States. They were also associate members of the Negro National League at this time. Then, next year, they would join the East-West League and become Sid Pollock's Cuban Stars, which is the name they went by until they disbanded in 1936. Well, that does it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. Got a lot more stuff coming along the way. Again, thank you so much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you next time.